Welcome to GTV Breakfast News. Comes to you live from Studio 1 here at GBC Kandai and Multi-Side Sadek. We have a lot to offer you on GTV Breakfast. But stories making headlines this morning. We'll take you to the court. We'll look at trade, we'll look at education, finance, conflict, and we'll take you to the foreign front. Let's start off from the courts. The Financial Court Division of the Accra High Court hearing the case involving MP for Esuti South, Mr. Collins Dauda, and 4 others, has given the third accused person 48 hours to appear before the court. Mr. Ziblim Yakubu, who has been absent from court for some time, is reported to be suffering from stroke. However, the court ruled that he must be in court for his plea to be taken on fresh charges in his presence as required by law.
Mr. Ziblim Yakubu, a former chief director of the Ministry of Works and Housing from 2009 to 2017, is the third accused person in the $200 million Saglemi housing case involving former housing minister Mr. Collins Dauda and 3 others. The accused was regular in court until sometime in 2022 when he stopped due to health issues. Mr. Eduji Tamaklo, lawyer for Mr. Yakubu, informed the court that his client suffered a stroke and has been unable to continue attending hearings from the previous court. The lawyer prayed the court to direct the Office of the Attorney General to make available other facilities by way of video conference to the court from Tamale or Yendi to afford the accused the opportunity to participate in the trial, since by law he is entitled to fair trial as stipulated in Article 19 of the 1992 Constitution. Prosecuting Principal State Attorney Madam Hilda Craig said medical reports show that the accused is on medication and is responding to treatment. However, he cannot walk unaided. Ms. Craig argued that Alhaji Ziblim Yakubu can be supported to court. She said since the substituted charge sheet was prepared, the accused has not been present in court for his plea to be taken in his presence. The state attorney informed the court that of the 70 fresh criminal charges against the 5 accused persons, Mr. Ziblim Yakubu has the bulk of the charges. The court in its ruling held that the accused has not pleaded to the newly adopted 70 counts, and holding a separate trial for him will result in unnecessary repetition in evidence which may affect the other accused persons. Justice Ernest Owusu Dapa said counsel for the accused did not provide evidence of any previously held decision regarding the deployment of video conferencing facilities to which the court could rally on. Mr. Ziblim Yakubu has 48 hours to appear before the court on Wednesday, June 7th at 12:30 p.m. The accused persons are facing a total of 52 counts of criminal charges for intentionally misapplying $200 million by paying for 1,412 affordable housing units at Saglemi instead of 5,000 units as approved by Parliament.
And the Tamale District Court has granted bail to 21 suspects who were arrested in a communal clash at Lukula, a community in the North Gonja district of the Savannah region. The 21 suspects were among 118 persons picked up following conflicts in the area. The suspects were brought to the Northern Regional Police Command, where they were screened on Friday, leading to the release of some 87 persons. Let's go to Asin North now. In about 3 weeks, all lenses will focus on Asin North as the by-election gets underway. As is expected, the various political parties are making inroads to that part of the country. National campaign teams of the major political parties, the MPP and the NDC, are campaigning amidst allegations of vote buying. The latest accusation by the NDC is that the Electoral Commission is attempting to effect the transfer of one Charles Opoku of the New Patriotic Party to Asin North to allow him contest in the election. A move, according to the NDC, is against the Constitution's provisions at this time. Correspondent Kingsley Nanaboedu was in Asin North and has more.
Assin North, and Assin Beku, the capital of the constituency or district to be precise. We came to gauge the mood of the people ahead of the election, probably in the next 3 weeks. And preparation and everything, I must say that has been okay. I've been speaking with some people. I earlier stopped at Assin Enja, where I spoke to people about their preparedness and how ready are they, and of course, engage them about some of the allegations. You will recall that there has been allegation of vote buying, and again there has been allegation by the NDC that the NPP has connived with the Electoral Commission and of course effected some transfers. The contestants are concerned. Yes, of course the EC has also refuted it. But I have been engaging many people. As I came, I've seen road construction, especially internal one, but of course there's no action here, and the people believe that if care is not taken, the election will pass without the internal road network that, of course, have already begun going on. So that has been their concern. I've been speaking with them, and they've been telling me a whole lot. So let's take a listen to some of the concerns that they have.
Yeah, you tell her, you know, both and the elections, the campaign, but you need to talk. Yeah, no, by elections here, any youth never had Yamini Mikuni, Yam Pentopa, in Naya Labor Moon, the penny say, any quine say, Omudi soldiers, ne, other security personnel in the Baha, no being or because we got to know Banner being as a man and Cotonou. I don't know the Yampe
from Assin Beku in the Assin North constituency. This is Kingsley, the Nabu report.
And in the northern region, the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Protection, Madam Lariba Zuwaira Abudu, has appealed to chiefs in the northeast and northern regions to help find a lasting solution to accusations of witchcraft in those regions and the continuous existence of witch camps and abuse of victims. In a week-long working visit to some districts in the northeast and northern regions, she also commiserated with the aggrieved families of 2 persons who were accused of witchcraft and lynched in Zakpalse.
Accusations, violence against alleged witches and its accompanying consequences continues to be a headache requiring urgent attention. The Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Madam Lariba Zuwaira Abudu, within whose purview the situation falls, therefore visited areas where such accusations have persisted. She embarked on a week-long visit to seek the support of chiefs and people within the northeast and northern regions to end the canker. The team paid a courtesy call on the overlord of the Mamprogu Kingdom, Na Shiriga Mahami Abdullahi, and the chief of Gambaga Gambarana Yahaya Wine to brief them on the purpose of the visit. They also engaged with the people of Dagbon after paying homage to Yana Abukari II and the Royal King of Dagbon at the Gbewa Palace.
We have instituted a department in the Gender Ministry that we are calling the Restoration Unit, which will take care of all this. So we'll do the sensitization, the military, the security, everybody, the communities, so that early intervention is key.
And away from the north, barely a week after the invasion of the Anglo Gold Ashanti Obuasi mine by illegal miners, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Samuel Jinapor, has met with the various stakeholders in Obuasi to find a sustainable resolution to the disturbance. He remarked that for mining to thrive in Ghana, government has a responsibility to ensure the protection and safety of partners' assets, including the concession of Anglo Gold Ashanti. Clara Mlanu reports.
Leading a team of mine experts, including the Chief Executive of the Minerals Commission, Mr. Martin Eisi, the advisor on mines to the Lands Minister, Mr. Benjamin Ayer, and the Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources in charge of mines, Mr. George Miriku Duka, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Samuel Jinapor, first met with management's Anglo Gold Ashanti and inspected operations at the Obuasi mine site. Obuasi is an underground mine operation with a depth of about 1,500 meters. The gold deposits in the mine is estimated at 29.5 million ounces. Last week, some illegal miners invaded an underground pit in the Anglo Gold Ashanti concession at Ariem in the Obuasi East districts of the Ashanti region and got trapped. AngloGold Ashanti got a team of security personnel to the place. To avoid arrest, some of the trapped miners decided to remain in the pit. After several attempts and intervention, all the 87 illegal miners were rescued and handed over to the police. As part of Monday's visit, a crunch closed-door meeting was held with the Ashanti Regional Security Council, RECSEC, the Obuasi Municipal Security Council, MUSEC, and the Obuasi East District Security Council, DISEC. This is not the first time illegal miners have trespassed the AngloGold Ashanti concession. In July 2022, some illegal miners were apprehended in the northern part of the concession for carrying gold-bearing materials from the mine. This was the reason for the meeting with traditional authorities within Obuasi to call their people to order and find a lasting solution to the impasse. A final meeting was held with the management of AngloGold Ashanti and the Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners for better understanding of the situation. Mr. Samuel Jinapo briefed the media after meeting all the stakeholders.
The normal processes of the law enforcement procedures of our country will take its course. I mean, people, if they are found to have flouted the mining laws of our country, will have to be prosecuted, and the courts will have to pass judgment and sentencing. We're working, as you know, to get our national economy back on track and back on the path of growth, sustainable growth. That is one of the main surest means of generating employment for the teeming youth of our country.
If somebody who is unauthorized enters underground, we won't know. That's the bottom line. All we can say is that if we have hints that somebody is underground, as you've seen, we have this main exit that you can even drive through. We would always make it open for anybody who is underground and wants to come out to use this space.
Gold production at the Obuasi mine started in 1897 and ended in the last quarter of 2014. A 20-year life of mine was anticipated after a feasibility study in 2017, and the board of AngloGold Ashanti received approval to commence work in 2018. This paved the way for a new mining activity and the first gold poured during the fourth quarter of 2019. Clara Mlano.
Still on natural resources, the Forestry Commission in the Bono region is targeting to plant 600,000 trees in the third edition of the Green Ghana Day, slated for Friday, June 9. This time, just like last year, most of the planting will take place within degraded forest reserves in the region. In giving details, the Commission's Bono Regional Director, Mr. Augustine Jedu, encouraged corporate bodies and other entities to adopt degraded portions and help restore them to boost the region's standing as firm supporters of environmental regeneration.
Heavily forested, but years of illegal logging, illegal farming in forest reserves and bushfires amongst other negative human activities have reduced the forest cover drastically. The Green Ghana initiative was therefore hailed as it has given the Commission's reforestation efforts a much-needed boost. This year, the Forestry Commission in the Bono region, which has two forest districts, Sunyani and Doma, is on course to plant 60% of the targeted 600,000 seedlings in the degraded portions of its 7 forest reserves. Briefing GBC News during a visit to the Commission, the Regional Director, Mr. Augustine Jedu, showed the team around a nursery at the Commission, saying over 100,000 seedlings made up of species like Gemelina, Cedrella, Mahogany, Cashew and Emery have been raised to plant there and at other nurseries and already distributed. He was optimistic that with the Green Ghana effort complementing their normal reforestation activities, Bono region will soon regain its lost forest cover.
This came about to complement what we were doing already, and if we are able to continue successfully for the next 10 years, I can assure you that most of our degraded forests will be recovered.
On the trees planted in forest reserves in the first 2 editions of Green Ghana Day, Mr. Jedu was satisfied with the over 70% survival rate and called for more support to plant the trees. Mr. Jedu further mooted the idea of corporate bodies and other entities adopting portions of degraded forest reserves and helping to resuscitate them.
Government needs support. People should come and sponsor plantation activities. If you sponsor plantation activities, you'll be branded. Your company will be branded. Institutions, corporate bodies should adopt some of our planting activities.
GBC News came across Mr. Mohammed Abdullahi, who had just visited the commission to get an allocation of 1,000 cashew seedlings for planting on Green Ghana Day. He said he similarly planted a similar number last year and the trees are doing well.
I started last year, and last year I took 1,000 seedlings.
Now, yesterday, June 5th, is celebrated globally as World Environment Day. The day highlights the protection and health of the environment as a major issue which affects the well-being of people and economic development throughout the world. Beat Plastics is the focal point of the 2023 World Environment Day celebrations. In Ghana, the roadmap is towards banning plastics in the future, whereas the short-term goal is to reduce the use of single plastic, thin plastic, and create alternatives for our daily use in the country. Speaking with GBC News, a Deputy Executive Director of the EPA, Mr. Ransport Sechi, urged Ghanaians to cooperate with the agency in that regard.
What is plastics? What plastics can be used for, the challenges we face with plastics, and the need for us to minimize the use of plastics. And I think the focus is that we're creating awareness about the use of plastics, the menace of plastics in Ghana and globally. And it is our quest at EPA and MESI that our fellow Ghanaians and actually the global audience and everybody take part in reducing the menace of plastics, especially the single-use plastics. And as my Deputy Executive Director in charge of General Services said, in future, definitely Ghana is working towards elimination of plastics.
If we all handle our wastes like a civil servant's salary, none will be left on the floor because every waste has an owner.
Meanwhile, the Environmental Awareness Month has been launched to push the agenda on plastic pollution. Drawing lessons from Rwanda, Ghana will begin to seize plastic materials at the airports to prevent their entry into the country. Passengers are being encouraged to dispose of their plastic waste, especially the single-use plastics, into available receptacles to be placed at vantage points at the airports.
The good thing is, for the past 10 years coming, the awareness creation, the awakening of the nation's conscience, the consciousness of the nation as to environmental pollution, be it plastic pollution, air pollution, water pollution, land pollution, whatever, noise pollution. People are now up, regardless of what you're doing, regardless of where you are, where you come from. It does not matter the language you speak. So far as you are a Ghanaian, you are responsible to ensure that the biophysical environment is as clean as anything. We in government and as agency, we do recognize that.
Let's take you back to the north. The Dr. Hilla Limann Technical University in Wa in the Upper West region has appealed to government for financial clearance to recruit to beef up its staff. This was during the university's 4th congregation.
The Dr. Hilla Limann Technical University conferred a higher national diploma on 365 graduates who had completed their course in the 2022 academic year. 36 obtained first-class honours, 180 had second-class upper, 146 second-class lower, whilst 3 had pass. The chairman of the governing council, Chief Suleimana Nabila, said the council would support management of the university by ensuring a conducive atmosphere for effective teaching and learning.
We pledge to do everything in our power to guarantee that the university has a serene atmosphere in which to carry out its mission of research, teaching and learning.
The university has introduced 7 new Bachelor of Technology programs. They include Bachelor of Technology in Procurement, Logistics and Supply Chain Management, Agricultural Engineering and Mechanical Engineering. The Vice-Chancellor, Professor Ilyas Sori, said with the introduction of the new programs, there is the need to augment its staff strength.
Bachelor of Technology in Mechanical Engineering, Bachelor of Technology in Civil Engineering, Bachelor of Technology in Building Technology, Bachelor of Technology in Information and Communication Technology. Proposals for 4 other BTech programs have been submitted to GTech and are being processed for accreditation.
Upper East Regional Minister Dr. Hafiz bin Saleh challenged the graduates to use their skills and the knowledge acquired to address challenges facing the country. On behalf of his colleagues, the valedictorian, Mr. Ibrahim, expressed gratitude to the management of the university for impacting knowledge to them.
The first ever second cycle institution at Wili in the Hohoe municipality of the Volta region has been inaugurated. The Santa Esther Girls Senior High School is also the first girls second cycle institution within the municipality. The project was initiated by the Minister for Railways Development, Mr. John Peter Amewu.
Santa Esther Girls Senior High School offers courses such as home economics, computer science, general arts and business. The chiefs and people of Wili traditional area in the Hohoe municipality readily provided several acres of land when the Railways Development Minister Mr. John Peter Amewu announced his vision to establish the school. Currently, close to 200 students have enrolled in the school, which has a 12-unit classroom block and other facilities. Mr. Amewu has also initiated a dormitory project to provide accommodation for students who will enroll in the next academic year. The Paramount Chief of Wili, Tobiga Low, thanked the Railways Minister for the project and promised that they would do their bit to ensure the growth of the school.
We do not have any choice but to ensure that the maintenance of the facility is our priority. Our dream is that sooner or later, Santa Esther Girls will become one of the big schools and competitive schools like Wesley Girls High School in Cape Coast.
The Hohoe Municipal Education Director, Madam Janet Dacha Buche, who is also the acting headmistress, stated that enrollment at the school has been encouraging.
In the very near future, the student population will increase, and this girls model school will be highly sought after BECE for girls in the region and the country.
The Volta Regional Director of Education, Mr. Francis Yao Agbemadi, hinted that the school's board of directors will soon be inaugurated to spearhead academic progress and infrastructure development. The Minister for Railways Development, Mr. John Peter Amewu, commended the chiefs and people of Wili and individuals who assisted in the realization of the school project. He pledged his continued support for the school, but also charged the community to cooperate fully with the management for the school to achieve its purpose.
You have been crying for the school. Now you have it. It is like a baby in your hands. Nurse it, nurture it, and it will grow and grow. On my part, I will do my best to offer the needed support to ensure that Santa Esther compete with the best girls' schools in the country.
Management of the school has instituted an award scheme to motivate students to study hard for excellent performances. Mr. Peter Amewu donated a brand new pickup to the school.
A 3-year-old Palestinian boy has died 4 days after being shot in the head by Israeli forces. Mohammed Tamimi and his father were shot while leaving their home in Nabi Saleh in the occupied West Bank. The Israel military said its soldiers opened fire while in pursuit of 2 gunmen who had earlier shot at a nearby Jewish settlement. In a statement after the